coming to you from the Strings and Things studio in Ventura, California. I'm Karin.
I'm Katie.
I'm Ann.
This is the Strings Unraveled podcast.
Okie dokie. Welcome to December.
Why is it Christmas already?
It's not Christmas yet. It's
Right.
only the second.
I went into Michael's yesterday on December 1st,
Uh-huh.
and I wasn't looking for holiday things.
I was in Michael's yesterday.
I was there at 9:15 because they have extended hours.
In the morning?
No.
Oh, see, I was there 12 hours earlier.
Oh.
That's so bizarre.
Well, it'd be interesting to compare notes then, because it's December 1st, and you're walking through the holiday stuff, and there might as well be like tumbleweeds.
Yeah.
And it's
It
not
was
like they
surprisingly
didn't.
quiet.
But it's not like they didn't have. I'm talking about like stock levels.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like they didn't have full shelves before Thanksgiving, because they did.
Yeah.
But it's
Gotta
this
get it
like
early.
urgency to get it.
Yeah.
It feels like toilet paper, but with Christmas decorations.
It does.
And I'm referring to the rush to buy toilet paper in early 2020.
Yeah.
Which I noticed no one really rushed to do in the second wave.
Well, because we all learned that there was plenty of toilet paper
Plenty of
and
toilet
that
paper.
hoarding is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It feels like it's like December 28th or something.
Right.
and-
Or like the day before. And
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's only the second.
Yeah.
Before we start, I should say up top that we are still running our handmade holiday boutique on our website and in person. If you come into the studio, everything's
Yes,
available
yes.
to see in person too. Lots of handmade goodies made by the three of us. So if you need a last minute gift, we also have local pickup options.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all kinds of good stuff on there to check out if you haven't done so already. So
That's why November was a blur, because we were busy making stuff for the boutique.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that time of the year again.
Yep.
Mm. I mean, I usually avoid Michael's in December because it's like, now that's not to say that it wasn't a long time in line with only one person ahead of me, because apparently they didn't have the staff. They had two people and one person left, and so then there was just one person.
I was at Joanne's on Monday, and apparently everybody had Monday off because everybody was at Joanne's, or
Crazy.
just in that parking lot in general. And I was waiting to get fabric cut. I needed 1 yard of one fabric. That was all I needed.
Oh, wow.
One thing. And there were like 2 or 3 ladies ahead of me in line that were making quilts and buying yards and yards and yards of things. And it was like I waited for about 20 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
And there were for 2 people ahead of me.
Oh.
And then I finally,
Yeah.
it was my turn. My number got called, and I was like, I need 1 yard, please. And the lady was like, that was a long time to wait for 1 yard of fabric, huh?
Aw.
And I was like, yes, it was. Yes, it was.
But if you need it, you need it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got what I needed.
Since you brought up Joanne's, I have a quick anecdote of you never know what people are carrying.
Uh-huh.
So I was there on Sunday morning because Bella wants some fancy dresses for her holiday choir performances. So I had to take her with me to pick. And there was a girl there. I had 6 bolts of fabric. Girl there cutting fabric, and she's not terribly friendly, which is fine. I don't want to tell you about what I'm making,
Yeah.
to be quite honest. And she starts like kind of throwing the bolts around, and I don't
Give
know
an
if this-
attitude?
Well, and
Yeah.
the scanner. She like threw the scanner on the counter, and I'm not being. I mean, I can be abrasive, but I wasn't. There was no reason.
Uh-huh.
So she gets to the last thing, and I said, I'm getting this really negative vibe from you. Are you having a bad day? And she looks at me like I am a monster for asking. And I said, I'm not asking you to criticize you. I'm truly
Concerned.
curious about how you're doing. And she looks at me again like I'm a monster. And then she like looks down at her work and she sighs and she's like,
Aw.
if you must know, my mom died.
Oh.
Oh.
And then, of course, I'm like, what are you doing here?
Yeah,
I'm
why
so
are you
sorry.
working?
I hope,
Although
she's
I
like,
didn't need to know if you didn't want to tell me.
well, there's that. And then she's
Oh
like,
my
I'm just
God.
trying to work.
Okay.
And
I
you know,
understand
I
that.
meet a lot of people who they do want to work, but as a distraction, not as a like I'm
It's a
going to be
help getting
hostile.
you. No, it's a help get you through it.
Well, and so I have a feeling that she wasn't allowed to take the day off. I mean,
Mm.
that's me just presuming. And then she made a mistake while she was cutting my fabric
Oh,
that I
no.
didn't discover until after I had been rung up. So I had to go back through the line. And the girl who rang me up, a different person, wanted to help me because it was her transaction. So I'm waiting, and a few people go by me, and this older lady goes up to the register she's called to and says, "Whoa, you don't want that girl in the butterfly apron to help you?" And I'm like,
Did you tell her?
I asked her about that because I was also kind of feeling that way. She told me, that her mom had died. And the other lady, though, wasn't like very.
Did
She
she feel
wasn't-
horrible?
Well, I think she was processing it, but
Like-
she wasn't
Like,
like,
come on.
"Oh, this girl's attitude was really bad."
I know, but dealing with
Well,
death
right,
makes
when
you
you find
ugly
out.
emotionally sometimes.
So anyway, I said something to the lady, and I kind of said it loud enough for the coworkers to hear,
You're like, come on,
and
give
they
her a break.
seemed nonplussed.
They didn't care.
But you just never know what someone's carrying.
Yeah.
I don't know if it helped her for me to probe at that, but you
It just
never
goes to
know.
show you don't know you don't know the
never
kind of
know.
day someone's going on, and maybe their attitude has a foundation in something else.
Yeah, especially this crazy time of the year.
Yeah.
that
Yeah. That's
emotions
gnarly.
are raw.
There's a reason a lot of people don't like Christmas.
But that's why she was throwing my fabric around.
Okay. That's a reasonable
Yeah.
excuse, I guess.
Going
Yep.
through the stages of grief, that would be the anger, and you can't take it out on a person, so you take it out on the fabric.
Sure.
We'll just call it that.
Yeah. Anyway, I just
Anyway.
felt like that was an interesting thing. I'm sharing it when appropriate because you just don't know.
You just don't know. Yeah, it's a fun time of year for some people, and it's a hard time of year
Yeah.
for some people. So
Absolutely.
Well, for us, December 16th will forever be burned as a sad day. So the first half of the month, it's just thinking about December 16th because that's the day that my father-in-law passed away. And I just remember that the only thing we really remember of that Christmas is we went through the motions and we somehow got through it, but it felt like sleepwalking.
How
in
old were
that-
your kids then?
My 20-year-old was 2.5. And he talked all about Grandpa, who he doesn't remember now.
Oh.
At first it was hard because he talked about when's Grandpa coming, and he didn't understand.
No.
Yeah. Well, this is a bummer start.
Yeah. Okay. So what
But we
have
got
you
good things to talk about later.
What have you been working on, Katie?
It's something
Well,
really
it's
black,
cool.
so
I know. This is Bennigan's Christmas sweater.
It's got one
let
pop,
me see
pop of
this.
little.
It's
look
so
at that little-
cute.
Oh, that's so
this
cool.
Is, it's a hoodie with a dark charcoal for the main color, and then it's got a bright red pop of color for a stripe, and then the little hoodie ties are bright red, and it's
And
got a
silver
kangaroo
stripes.
pocket.
I love those kind of pockets.
What
And
what pattern?
it's called the Mini Montrealer.
So
Oh.
cute.
The Montrealer is an adult size version of the same pattern by someone whose name is not on here. Vincent Deslandis. Designs by Dells on Instagram. Yeah, it's Finnegan's sweater. He's the biggest kid of all of them, so he's a whole 7 years old now. So his sweater is taking the longest out of all of them. It's the last one I have to do, which is spoilers for the next segment because I've got a bunch of kids' sweaters to show you that I finished. So I've done all the little fiddly parts that were obnoxious. You have to knit like a little facing for the hood. You have to knit little facings for the pocket. You have to knit your little I-cord ties for the hoodie strings. And now I have sleeves left. And I was like, sleeves. I'm almost done. But the sleeves are taking freaking forever. So I'm hoping to at least finish.
But the kid sleeves.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I'm hoping to finish one of them this evening.
Yeah.
And then I still have most of the month to finish the other sleeve before it's, time to give it to them. So that is what I am currently working on. I also have a pair of socks that I'm making for a gift that I forgot to bring it with me. Otherwise, I would have shown you. And a Christmas quilt in progress.
Let's see.
I have all of my blocks finished, and they got all laid out. and I'm working on sewing rows together.
I love the fabric.
So this is my segue to talk about some recent stash acquisition. So when I was in Austin earlier last month for my to visit my family, I went to a craft thrift store. So it's only
That
craft
sounds
supplies. It was called Creative Reuse in Austin, and it was awesome. It was this big, huge store. They had anything for any sort of craft you could ever want. If you make dolls, if you do pottery, if you do collage making, if you do computer stuff, they had like tiny motors. They had scrapbook supplies. They had
awesome.
anything you could think of. A whole part of it, there's like a whole corner of the store, this big sectioned off area. What they had all these buckets, like 5-gallon buckets from like Home Depot, and you took a bucket, and as much as you could fit in the bucket was like $5. And then the rest of the store was all like priced, for whatever it was for.
Accordingly.
They had a huge fabric section with like stacks and stacks of fat quarters and yardage and all kinds of stuff. And I found 2 fabric bundles. So this one that I'm holding is 10 quarter-yard cuts of solids, and it was $10.
They look pretty high
So
quality.
And they look
they're
like
not
they're
fat
nice.
quarters because you get both halves of the fat quarter. Like
I thought it was a fat quarter, but they're
They
like
look a little
long
thicker.
strips. So it's
a
and
quarter
some
yards.
of them are,
That's awesome.
that's what the Christmas fabrics were too. I bought a bundle that were all put together, so they curated all the colors. I think they just get yardage from people who cut it.
Yeah.
And they were like very generous quarter yards because a quarter yard is 9 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were like 12, 13, 14 inches.
Ooh.
Some of them were 9, but
Wow.
they were generous. So for $10, I have 2 quilts worth of fabric.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So
Almost
from-
worth driving to.
Driving to Austin?
Well, there's-
Almost worth flying.
Okay.
One in,
You have some fabric in your office. I do too.
Yeah. There is a
Almost.
craft thrift store in, I think, Pasadena.
Now we're talking.
Yes. I don't know if it sounds
road-
like a similar
New
name.
Year road trip.
I don't know how it compares, or I have never been there, but it sounds like a fun place to visit. So for my Christmas quilt, I took them and I cut all the quarters into 2.5-inch strips, and then I paired them up and did fence rail blocks. So it's going to be scrappy, and that's what I have been working on. I'm also sort of waiting on a couple things to come in for the project I'm going to use the solids for, which is going to be a Christmas gift that I can't talk about, but I will talk about it eventually. I'm still waiting for some things to come in the mail so I can get started on that project.
Who's the Christmas quilt for? Your own pleasure? Or?
I think it's just for me. I might give it to somebody. I don't know. It's just for fun.
You'll see.
We do like a gift exchange with the family, like a white elephant kind of thing.
Mhm.
I might save it for that, or I might keep it for myself. I haven't decided yet.
Very cute.
So those are the things that I'm working on. Well, let's go next.
Karin, what are you working on?
Well, I don't have that much to work on because I have a bunch of FOs, but I've got.
Ooh.
I know. November was a very productive month.
Seriously.
It was.
Seriously.
I mean,
I don't know how.
Nothing
I had
like
so much
forced
time.
labor.
That's the thing. Yeah. So okay,
Deadlines thrive.
So we I have the Gale sweater poncho. It's kind of a both. It's kind of a sweater, but it's open on the side, so I kind of call it more of a poncho.
I think they're
Anyway.
calling it a swancho.
Maybe it's a cape.
A cape? Oh, that's good.
Well, maybe
I don't know.
the designer the Gale sweater, whatever it's called, Gale Gale by Alicia Plummer. You can find her on Ravelry and on Instagram, and it uses, what are these? These are like size 11 needles, and it's just in big chunky yarn. It's a nice quick knit, and it was a class that was gonna go, but we postponed it, so you have time to join us if you act fast and you happen to have stash. That we postponed it, so it's actually starting this month. Anyway, so I'm doing a second sample of it because the sample I originally had I made from yarn when I worked at Anacapa Fine Yarns, and I thought that was good old Encore chunky, but I'm using Barocco Vintage Chunky.
Oh, nice.
And it has such a, I don't know if you guys can feel you
Oh, that
can't
is
feel it, but
nice.
it's got a
it
really
looks nice.
softness.
I've
I-
not
j-
handled the chunky
Katie's
before.
hands are super fast and busy, so I don't
Sorry,
want
I'm
to.
trying to detangle
I
my
know.
yarn right now.
She's got double points, and I'm a little frightened at how fast those are flying. So,
I'm trying to get the sleeve done.
for safety's sake, I'm not going to hand it to you. Anyway, so I am redoing this one, and I just love this color. It's like a foresty heather. I mean, at first glance you may think, oh, it's the same thing as I made last time. No, the
just
last
really
one was
similar.
the last one was a teal heather. This one is definitely green.
Yeah.
It is green. It's still dark, but whatever. So so I'm working on that. That's a knit project. I've got, of course, Christmas sewing projects that I can't talk about because people are here.
Oh.
um, and the thing is, it's something I've designed, and I've written up the pattern twice, and I've lost it twice. So
Oh,
I got to
no.
write it up a third time because time is a deadline. Okay, so I'm working on a cowl because I've just full on fallen in love with Tunisian crochet, and it's a cowl, but it's like a split hem at the opening, like at the shoulder, and it's just two big rectangles, and you'll sew them together all the way down on one side and just partially down on the other, and then you'll pick up and you'll work on like an applied ribbing on the top and on the bottom.
Cute.
And it calls for like a what is it called for? I guess like DK worsted, but why do things normal and have a single yarn when you have stash? So I had gotten a bunch of mini skeins from Spin Cycle Yarn, dyed in the wool, and I had a leftover skein of a Surrey alpaca. I thought it was silk wool mohair, but it's actually a Surrey alpaca, so it's super soft and fuzzy.
It's better.
It's way better. Mo better. Not mohair, but mo better. So I paired those together, and of course, then I have not run out of those mini skeins yet. I got like a sweater's worth of mini skeins, so I got plenty
You
of
had to
that.
act fast to get
I
that.
did run I did run out of the one skein of the Surrey alpaca, so I had to reorder. But I'm a big fan of farmer's daughter fibers, and so I just got another skein of blue. It's got blues and purples as its main color, and then the mini skeins are everything from pink to beiges to yellows to greens, and I'm working on the second. I got the first one. You imagine this cowl is 17 inches deep. Plus, well, just the main part before you put the ribbing. So I'm working on the second one, and it seems to be coming along. But one of the things I love about doing Tunisian crochet these days, oh, look at that, it's about to fall apart, is using interchangeable crochet hooks. So I can use my cables from my interchangeable knitting sets with the interchangeable crochet, which gives me different lengths to do.
Nice.
I just have to be careful that it doesn't unscrew.
And you can do the best thing about crochet, which is have one hook engaged in many projects, as opposed to if you start a knitting project, that needle's kind of stuck there till you're done.
And the thing about the Tunisian is I never turn my work, ever. I'm always knitting across. I mean, if I'm going in the round, but I'm not going in the round. When it's worked flat, every row has two parts, a forward and a back pass. So I'm doing the knit stitch, so it has this nice, beautiful knit look with the ease of a crochet.
Nice.
So nothing's going to run or fall off my needle or anything like that. Anyway, cool.
Unless it comes unscrewed.
Unless it goes unscrewed. But it's crochet.
And
so
it's only
it's
one
so
row.
easy to pick up.
Yeah, it's still only one row if you have that catastrophe.
But it's super soft.
It looks soft.
Yeah. So that will be for a class sample in the new year.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
I forgot. Are you done?
Yes, I only have those two.
I forgot to mention my other stash acquisition from Austin.
That's pretty.
We went to a
pretty.
Can I have
yarn
that?
shop. No. Can I have it? No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, she picked up on that
fast.
If you don't ask the
I mean, that's
the answer's
true. What if
still
I was
no.
like, yeah, sure. There's
It was
a yarn
worth a
shop
try.
near my,
I might have caught her.
near my aunt's house where we were staying, called Gage in Austin, and
cute.
it was a very lovely, like, your classic yarn store. The people that worked there were lovely. They had lots of good stuff. It made me very homesick for Anacapa.
That's how I feel when I'm in a good store.
I
like
know,
that.
it was great. They had like a whole sale room in the back. It was very cute.
It's like, don't mind me while I
Did
cry
you
in
ever
the
get
corner for
Yeah,
a
right?
minute.
When you're done, I have a question about Austin
Um,
and yarn.
so when I went, I asked if they had anything local.
Mhm.
And this is from Forest Fiber Arts, which I don't think is Austin. I think it was Dallas or Houston or some other large city, but it wasn't Austin. But they're local-ish. And this is called Merino Sport, which I was surprised when I bought it. I didn't think it was sport weight, and then I looked and I was like, oh, I guess it is. It's only 328 yards for 100 grams.
Oh, all right.
It looks a little heavier, girl,
Yeah.
but not quite DK. So I guess it's a.
Yeah, the colorway's called
It looks
Plume.
fingering weight to me.
It looked like fingering to me too. It's got like a sage green, a goldeny, like ochre kind of color,
Mhm.
pink, some good speckles. Yeah, thought it was pretty. So I picked that up for myself.
It's
Did
very
you,
pretty.
when you were in Austin, did you have any chance to go to Hill Country Weavers?
I have been there, but I didn't
Oh,
go on this
not
trip.
this trip.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been there before.
I haven't been there in like the only one time I was there. It was many years ago. I
Mhm.
just like it's like a homey house, and
Yeah,
each
it's a
room
really cute
has
shop.
different yarn in it,
Oh,
and I'm like,
that's fun.
I think all their sale yarns in the garage or something. Like, yeah, it's fun.
That sounds cute.
Anne, what are you working on?
I'm still working on my Arachne, which is the spider web yoke sweater from Andy Sutherland. And but then I did start a new sweater. There was I guess I started this sweater actually the week of Halloween, but I didn't talk about it last time. I don't think I did. When I should have been working on my daughter's Halloween costume.
Mhm.
But the night before, I was worried our landlords were going to open my office door, so I like
I
cleaned
too
in
was
my office.
worried
yeah.
about that.
And
They
then
had
the
to
next night, I came here and I was like, ugh, but I can sit in my chairs now. So I'll
That's
start
nice.
this Christmas sweater. Not the Halloween costume that has the
Nah.
ticking clock. And so it's called Vintage Winter, I think. It's from Ginger Twist Studios by Jessica James. Yeah, Vintage Winter. It's a sweater that she's made like in every colorway. If you follow Ginger Twist Studios on Instagram,
Oh.
it's a adorable yarn shop in Edinburgh.
Oh,
Ooh.
So one of our knitters, she may have already moved there. Brenda Muth is planning to move to
Ooh.
Edinburgh. She got like a second PhD just for
Edinburgh.
fun. Fair enough.
That's awesome.
I was like, oh, there's this great store there. And she's like, I know it. Thanks. Because
Come
that's
away,
the
thank
first
you.
reconnaissance you should do when you're
Yeah.
moving to a new
What kind of
town
yarn
is
stores are
what
there?
is my yarn store. So
Well, because that's kind of a deal breaker. Can you imagine moving someplace where there's no
I mean,
local?
We don't have a local yarn store here.
right?
No,
I
but
didn't
we have a
move-
yarn.
when I
But we
moved
have a
here,
yarn
there was.
community.
That's true.
But we have a yarn community still.
Yes.
Sort of.
I mean, not yarn. Anyway, continue.
Fiber community.
We
Yes.
have a fiber
A
community.
stitching community.
We have the community, not necessarily the fiber. Move on. Sorry.
So I
Is it sparkly?
yeah. Okay. So
Oh, yeah, I saw
this
that
is
on the
my
cups.
favorite
I love that part.
colorway of Lion Brand
Is it
wool ease.
Yeah.
It's the white with the iridescent
Yeah.
strand that goes through it.
I saw that.
I've
On the
actually
cup is
never
so
made
pretty.
myself anything in it. I've bought it and made things over the years, but
Uh-huh.
never anything for myself. So it's a stranded yoke, but it starts with the sleeves actually, and then
Oh, you would love that.
I do love that. It starts with the
She's
sleeves.
actively loving it.
Yes, but it is overall a bottom-up sweater, which that gives me a little anxiety.
Can I ask you a question about
Please.
your sleeves? Because
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day
Mm-hmm.
about knitting sleeves from the top down or knitting the sweater and then attaching the sleeves like you do.
Mhm.
I was going to do it for this sweater, but I was like, well, I'm not entirely sure where the sleeves are going to line up or where the stripes are going to end, like where to start from the bottom. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
But then I was like, well, I could just do a provisional cast on and knit my sleeve top down the same way.
Yes.
And I was wondering if you have ever thought of that
That's
or done
super cool.
it. And I was like, Anne's probably done this.
No, but that you
Because
just
then you could just start from the top and knit it as long as you want.
you gotta pause this.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, this
Pause
is
this
the
for just
conversation
a
we got to.
second.
Okay.
We got to go to the cone of silence for this one, for future stuff.
So it starts with the sleeves. It's a bottom-up sweater, which that always gives me some anxiety, just
I
because.
love bottom-up sweaters.
Well, I appreciate that you love them.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was for the portability and the separateness of the pieces.
I just like the fact that when you get to the yoke, it's
You're
just
done.
like a straight shot up and then you're done. And things
So-
get faster because you're decreasing usually.
True.
And I think that's fun.
That's a good point. And maybe...
There was something I was knitting recently. Oh yeah, something else I'll talk about that was like that. And I was like, this is so fun.
Well, and I they come up every once in a while. I'm
Mhm.
happy to do this one. You know, I was thinking about like why did she do this one bottom up though? Because it's not that common to come across a bottom up sweater these days, anyway.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe it's like when you were making your Santas that the direction was important because of the way
Mhm.
his smile would go. So there's these little triangle shapes that kind of are, you know, like a modern tree.
Uh-huh.
But I think they'd be better if she was going
The
bottom
other
down.
direction.
Yeah, yeah,
Top down.
yeah. Top down.
Oh.
And
Actually,
yeah,
they'd
maybe
be-
not because the V's are sort of like the spikiness of a pine tree.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not messing with it. So the sleeves have a corrugated ribbing, which I looked at. That's not how her sample is though, but that's
Oh.
how the instructions
It's nice. She wants to
are.
change her mind.
But I
Oh.
adore corrugated ribbing, so I went with it.
Mhm.
And then the body is striped, which I will be striping in this soft pink and my kind of brick red.
Mhm.
And then you get up to the yoke, and it has this cute little scalloped edging. And then there's polka dots and little triangles, and it's just very, very cute. And I'm hoping to have it in time to wear this winter because I've wanted to. I mean, I don't even know when she started promoting this pattern. It's been at least 2, if not 3 years. So I've wanted it since I saw it on her Instagram.
Cute.
It's not a size inclusive pattern,
Mm.
but it is not a pattern that is hard. It's not hard to size up. I'm actually going to add, I fit in the largest size, but I'm adding a couple inches because I want a little more ease than that would offer me. So I've adjusted the yoke to do that. And those are the knitting things I am actively working on. I'm also going
You
to
have
make
non-knitting.
Mirabella 2 dresses, 2
Mhm.
holiday dresses, and then I have started cross stitching,
Yay!
which I tried as
Which
a
one?
child.
Which one? Which one?
It's nothing named.
Oh, nothing named.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bought some notions from Frosted Pumpkin. I got a needle minder and a thread organizer, and they like made a mistake on an order, and before I even noticed it, they sent the correct object.
So now you got 2.
And then they didn't say boo about it. They're not like, oh, can you return the wrong
No.
thing? Or
Nice.
they just fixed it without before I could even notice it. Because it was something I like. What they sent was like something I liked.
You know, when I used to, what do you think about the needle minder?
Haven't used it yet.
Okay, I will say, I learned to cross stitch, and there was no such thing as these magnetic needle minders back in my day, you know, and you just had to sort of feed the needle into the stitching as a holder. But wow, those needle minders are
very
really,
convenient.
really
Yeah, they're real handy.
nice.
Yeah.
I tend to
Um,
store mine on the underside of the frame so it doesn't get knocked off.
Well, some novel things that I've discovered, which might be old news because I know you guys pick up cross stitch with varying
Mhm.
levels of
Now is the
of
time
love.
of year that I feel like cross stitching.
Ah.
Mhm.
Well, right now, so I made a cute little pumpkin head from some. I think the pattern was, or I'm sorry, the magazine is called Just Cross Stitch, and they had a huge issue of just Halloween themed things, from little door hangers to big images. So I made a little like Calavera style pumpkin wearing a
Cute.
witch hat, and I finished that. Completely
Nice.
finished it, except finishing it with
The
turning it into the
finishing,
shape.
yeah.
All the stitching is finished. Over the years, I've seen people block their cross stitch and
Mhm.
embroidery, and that was mind blowing.
Yeah.
Like, duh.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do that? So I need to do all that jazz.
I've only just ironed.
I've seen people soak them and then
Yeah.
lay it out to dry.
I did it the last time I did one, and again, it was one of those things I never thought to do before. But what a difference! I mean,
Yeah.
I've known that I've needed to because when you're holding and handling a frame, sometimes it's just not as clean. I think the only reason I started doing it because I helped clean and finish off someone's needle point, and it needed a little bit of freshening up. So I was like, oh wow, but what a difference it made when it was clean.
Yeah.
Of course, you want to
which
clean it
just
before
makes
you gift it.
sense because you handle it a ton while you're doing it. And I'm sure it evens out the stitches, just like blocking your knitting or your crochet
Yep.
does.
Mhm.
The other novel thing was a knotless loop start.
Oh, yeah. With the little loop.
Changed. Yeah,
Yeah.
changed my world. I think I'm going to start doing that in my regular sewing.
That's what I do with my hand sewing.
Yeah.
Tell me that again.
Okay. So, like, you'd cut your 18 inches or whatever, peel off 2 strands of thread.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you make a knot, sometimes you leave a little bit and then you sew
Stitch
over it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in the back of one of the magazines, they said, cut your thread twice as long and then just peel off half the number of strands. Thread both ends in. So
Like double it up on
fold
itself.
it in half.
Mm-hmm.
Thread the the cut
So you've
ends
got a
in.
loop on the other end.
And then pull it through your canvas or whatever, your Aida cloth, or Aida cloth, I would say that wrong. Start to make your first stitch, come back through, and the loop's on the back, and you stitch through the loop and catch the loop.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's caught on itself.
Okay, I wish y'all can see my face. I'm
Yeah,
like,
Karen's like, what?
Oh, I thought if you didn't know about this that you would love it.
so wait,
because-
so wait,
I
so,
do
you-
it
so
all
what
the
it
time.
is
You're
you're
in my
getting
head
you're
when I'm
getting
cross
so you're
stitching.
getting one strand, but when you fold it over, you get your two strands.
It doesn't work for an odd number, but I know there's
Yeah.
like a tricky way to do it. If you don't follow, I think her name is Atomic Heart Mother. At least I follow her on TikTok,
Wow,
but I
mind
think she's
blown.
also on Instagram. Let me look her up.
I wonder if that's what the City Stitchers do.
It changed my attitude.
Wow, because it's
Tremendously.
still the right length.
Let me find her.
So much easier to try,
Instagram
and
account.
think how much easier it is to get one strand in your needle.
No,
versus
you're
two.
still threading 2 ends. Every
Adam,
time I go
When
to
you
do
fold,
it,
wait, when you
Okay.
fold it over, then it's
okay.
then
So
it's
here's my
too
embroidery
thick.
floss. Okay. So normally I cut at 18 inches.
Yeah,
Now I'm cutting at 36.
yeah.
I'm peeling off 1 strand.
Yeah,
So
that's
this
what
is
I
one
said.
strand. Okay. I'm folding it in half. Imagine that's the cut end. I'm threading these 2 strands through the eye of the needle.
and you
and then
pull
at
it through
this
part
end-
way,
I have this loopy.
and when you come back down, you catch the loop.
Oh, I get it now.
Except
I
every
get it now.
time I go to do it, I want to try to thread 1 strand.
other
so
way.
I understand.
The other way. I get it now.
Yeah.
You
It's
should.
in the back of number 1 Britain's cross stitch.
Oh, that's handy. You should follow Adam Hart Cross Stitch at ATOM. Adam Hart Cross Stitch. Either on Instagram. I follow her on TikTok. And
Is it all
she
one
posts,
word?
HEART
Yes.
or HART.
HEART. Adam Hart Cross Stitch. She posts a ton of tutorials and stuff, and that's where I've heard from her. That's
she
where I
is.
learned from it. But she also sells. She has like an Etsy shop, and she makes little like thread minders and all kinds of cute stuff. But she's very
Oh, that's
inspirational,
cute.
and I think she's local too. She lives in Newbury Park, so
Oh, wonderful.
Oh wow.
yeah, she's really cool.
All right. Well, I'm into that.
Lots of good cross stitch content
Yeah.
if you want.
Absolutely into that.
I mean, I'm not very fast at it. It's
No.
really like an insanely time-consuming activity.
Yeah.
Well, you don't make you're not doing one cross at a time.
No.
You're doing,
No.
lean,
I understand.
lean.
Yeah.
Back,
No.
back.
I understand.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that as a kid. I was just doing one. But I have picked up cross stitch over the years and like played with it, but not really finished anything. So I finished my little Calaveras pumpkin, and then I was looking for the Christmas patterns, and there's a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I bought like 3 or 4 magazines. I think they're all British magazines, and I'm set. Like I went through and I put Post-its on all the things I like in each one. I don't think I need to buy another cross stitch pattern for 10 years.
But
Maybe.
Need. Is it
Yeah.
about need?
Well,
None of what we do is about need.
what I'm working on now is a plastic canvas little Christmas village that's cross
that
stitched.
sounds cute.
And that is gonna there's 3 in the first issue, and I'm hoping I can get the other 2 issues. And that's gonna be, I think, a total of 7 little buildings.
Mhm.
Those buildings are
I
cute.
expect in about 15 years
Yeah.
that I will have
A
my
very
little
adorable
Christmas
Your
Christmas
own
village.
Christmas village of cross stitch.
That sounds real.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
in about 15 years.
Whatever.
check
But
back
they're
in then.
very, very cute.
That sounds super cute.
And that was the number
Plastic
1
canvas is
Britain.
fun to work with.
Well, it's a little easier at nighttime than fussing with the with a
And you
hoop
can
and
use your yarn
canvas.
stash.
It's floss, so I went ahead and just
Oh.
bought all the floss. But you could.
Yep.
I could have done that, and I was thinking, why am I doing plastic canvas? But it's a small. It should have been a 14 count.
Do you do a
I
round
did
hoop
10.
or a Q-snap frame?
I have been using a like round snap, like tension,
Uh-huh.
with the wire, the metal ring,
Yeah.
and I really like that. I've seen you use the snap-on frames. I've seen those online. Do you like it?
I prefer it because then I don't get tension on the diagonal like I
Oh.
get with a hoop. It's all
Oh.
I can keep it all straight and it doesn't. I have a tendency to like twist things if it's in a circle, so it helps me curb my tendencies.
Well, I found a little that my book light is real fun hooked onto the hoop
Oh, how
because I
fun.
need all the light. Like
Oh,
there's
yeah.
not enough light.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then I added one of those around the neck lights.
I like it.
Yeah.
It helps.
I need all the light.
It helps, but I don't know. I need new glasses, which are on order
Oh,
now.
that's good.
Because apparently my eyes are bad.
I'm going to talk about Adam Hart cross stitch again.
Yes.
The reason why I found her in the first place on TikTok was she was making a plastic canvas dollhouse for like her
Oh,
niece. So you
I've
have to
always
look at-
wanted to do that.
with all the little rooms and all the little furniture and the people.
Wait, lift it up.
So Dante,
It's so cute.
And I'm
kind of
telling
like-
you, because miniature houses are really, really in where people just buy the whole room and they make all these miniature stuff.
Dante
Oh, what
was
a great
really
idea.
into dollhouses when he was like 3 or 4,
Mm-hmm.
and I was gonna make something like that for him. I bought like the whole pattern, the whole shebang. It was like an old out of print
Yep.
Leisure Arts
Yep.
pamphlet. I found it like this crazy place online that had all those digitized.
Nice.
And I think I cut out like the first set of furniture. But something I discovered there, if you like playing with plastic canvas, which that's fun to stitch every once in a while, and that our locking ring stitch markers are really useful when you cut out all the pieces. You hook it in the corner to keep all your pieces together.
Oh, that's smart.
So somewhere in my detritus of unfinished projects, I have a baggie very carefully organized of like a little living room set.
Aw. I know. I think I was watching that and I was like, oh, I can make this for. No, Katie, don't. Don't. Do it. You're not gonna finish it. Don't make it.
Well, I just noticed.
You can make it for your great nieces and
Yeah,
great
there you go.
nephews.
Well,
Give me 20, 30
how
years.
exciting! When is December 5th?
It is. Yeah, I see. She's
Right.
having a restock.
She's got a
on.
restock.
It's
Okay, I'm gonna have to.
Sunday.
Sunday.
You're right. It's Sunday.
Yay! Okay, so Sunday I'm gonna be checking this out. So, which is the day after, So this comes out the day before this comes
Oh,
out. So
yeah. Well, if there's anything left in her Etsy
Yeah.
restock,
Good luck.
yeah, so this stuff kind of.
Yeah, her stuff's really cute.
Yeah.
Thanks for the
Yep.
rec. Yeah. Okay. So my 2 sweaters. I am working on dresses for Belly. And cross stitching. And I'm working on my Christmas Eve exchange, but I don't want to talk about what it is because I'm wishy-washy about it. But I am
You can
working
tell
on
us
that.
later. You can tell us next month.
Yeah. I'll let you know if I finished it
It
or
could be
what I
unfinished.
finished instead.
Yeah, there you go. Well, do we want to jump into finish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Katie, what have you finished?
Me? I have finished. Let me pull up my list. I made a stocking as a commission for somebody because we get that yearly. I need a stocking, but she at least got it to me before Thanksgiving, so I
Yeah.
was like, yes, I will do it.
Yeah,
I don't have it because she picked it up today, but I can show you a picture of it.
Let's see a picture.
Oh, that's cool.
She used to buy. It was from a place called Annie's Woolens, who would sell the finished stockings, but now they just sell the kits.
Smart.
So she bought the kit,
Oh, that's adorable.
and it was like that Bartlett
Oh,
2-ply
that's
wool, like
nice.
really sheepy woolly.
Ooh.
It made my hands very lanolin-y.
So your hands got very soft.
So I finished that stocking in just a couple days. It was pretty quick. And then before that, I have checked all but one of the kids' sweaters off of my list. There are 5 kids getting sweaters, and I finished 3 more this month.
Ooh.
So I think you saw Emily's
I love that.
2 last month, the crocheted one.
That's
Oh,
so cute.
Elliot is 4, and his is like a little
Look at that
Weasley
with a
sweater.
big E.
This one I did on the machine. I did all the ribbing. I even did picked up the stitches and knit the sleeves off,
Whoa.
which was pretty tricky. So I didn't have to seam the sleeves on. The only hand knitting I did was for the rolled collar, and then I duplicate stitched the big E on the front.
Which
That is
looks
really
great.
tidy duplicate stitch.
Thank
Yep.
you. I like duplicate
And the
stitch.
tension is
I
really
hate it.
nice too.
This is Lion Brand Hometown USA
Oh, yeah.
or Home something. I don't
I
remember.
think hometowns, right?
There's like a chunky version, and they have two different names.
Oh.
So it's something like that. It's the worsted weight version, and it's like a tweedy, foresty green with a big gold E on the front,
That's
which
so
I think
cute.
is so cute.
Yes.
And then I finished Owens, which was a pain in my behind. Owens
Oh, it's a grandpa
is-
sweater. How cute.
Owens is a take on like the dude sweater from Big Lebowski, and it is navy blue with like a turquoise color work and like a bright, reminds me of like a macaroni and cheese color
Oh, yeah.
stripe, with
Cheddar.
little grandpa buttons
Yeah,
and a shawl
cheddar
collar.
orange.
I knit this one in the round and steeked it, which was my first time steeking color work like properly, and I don't know what I did wrong, but it was coming apart. And I texted Anne, I was like, what did I do? And she was like, oh, I'm not sure. So I tied a bunch of tiny little knots and I
Yeah.
stitched my facing down, and it turned out fine.
Yeah, it looks great.
But I did panic pretty well. I should have waited until I was here because I was going to machine reinforce my steeks, but I was at home and I was like, I'll just do it this way.
I've had that happen to me on Crocheted Steaks, and I still don't know what I did wrong either.
It's a mystery,
Yeah.
but it's done and it's super cute. I'm very proud of it. I think it's very cute.
Gorgeous.
And then Amaranth I have been working on for months,
Like
but it's finally
since
done, too.
January.
Yeah, I started this
Oh,
one the longest, so I was
wow.
working on it in like fits and spurts. And hers is the Rainbow in the Storm.
So cute.
I ran out of yarn for the sleeves. I
But
think
she's
they're going to be
little,
long
and
enough.
those are drop shoulders.
I think they'll
Yeah.
be long enough. They're
Yeah.
like 2 or something inches shorter than they're supposed to be.
So it's a 3/4 sleeve.
Yeah,
There
we'll
you
see.
go.
And
Yep.
then I had to use a different yarn for the neck because I was out of my
But you really
background
can't
color.
tell.
Yeah, it's fine.
Looks great.
So that is
Adorable.
So
4
many
finished
adorable
that are in the
sweaters.
bucket, and 5 is in my hands. I'm working on it.
Oh
I'm
my
almost done with the
gosh.
sleeve.
That's so impressive.
Oh, it's taking a long time.
And
but
I
it's
love that
fine.
hood. I love a good hoodie.
That's a very cute sweater.
I really like this one. I think that Finnegan's really gonna like it because he likes being cool. So
It's
he's
very
very
cool.
into like cool stuff.
This is the cool guy sweater
It's
for
a very
sure.
cool guy sweater,
Yeah.
so I think he'll like it. Because he's 7 now and he's a a whole teenager practically.
Yeah. Oh my God, Marabella was asking.
So what does that mean?
She
What does
still
want?
she couldn't communicate it. We're gonna go to the mall together, and she's gonna show me what she means, and I'm probably gonna cave.
Yeah.
As long as there's no midriffs involved.
Sure.
You know. And the shorts cover her butt. Those are my criteria.
Those are reasonable.
Very
criteria.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Those are all of the things I finished.
That's pretty good.
Karen, what'd you finish?
Did you give yourself full credit
Huh.
for things you finished?
What do you mean? Oh, and a lot of things for
Because I'm gonna give myself
so
full
much
credit.
stuff for the
stuff
boutique.
for boutique. That took yeah. We all made and finished a lot of things for the boutique this month, so that's a lot of FOs
Yes.
right on that table over there.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So what else?
Okay, so besides boutique stuff, I did 2 test knits or 2 test projects. One's a crochet shawl by Elizabeth of Desamour Designs on Instagram, DESAMOUR, like amour, Desamour. And one is I believe she's from Haiti, and so she has a collection, and this is one part of her collection of various things that celebrate her culture of Haiti. And this was originally going to be called a Catherine Flan shawl, but then she changed it to Desalienne with an accent over the E, I think. Anyway, so it's like a 2/3 crochet shawl
Like
with
an octagon, or it would be a
Kind of.
hexagon if it were completed.
except it has short rows, so it's a little longer on one.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it ends up kind of spiraling a little bit, and it has these little swooshes,
They're
kind of like
so
a Nike
cute.
swoosh.
I love the colors.
And I picked my colors. The yarn is from Serendipitous Wool. Shohan or Siobhan S.
Siobhan.
I don't know if that is how you pronounce it. It's SIOB.
Siobhan.
It's Siobhan.
But she's I think from India, so I don't think it's.
Well, that name is pronounced Siobhan in
Gaelic.
The
don't.
person I know somebody named that. That's
I
how
know
she
someone named
pronounces
that way.
But,
I know, but I think in this other culture, it's pronounced differently. So
okay.
I just know it's the gal. She and Carolyn Dick um and Elizabeth of That's More Designs. The three of them together to have a magazine called Radical Threads. And so anyway, so it's great yarn. It's the first time I got to have any of it, and it's kind of like this denim-y blue and as a main color, and then so the contrast is not very bold. It's a much more
It's very pretty.
subtle contrast, and then the other is pale, like almost like a barely blue with lots of bright color
Kind of
speckles.
like an eggshell blue.
Yeah, that's it. An eggshell blue with lots of bright little speckles of pink and purple and green. And anyway, I really love it. I've got to get good pictures because I haven't.
Cute.
Because, this other stuff we were doing. And then I finished a sweater that's cuff to cuff.
You were working on this last time we talked.
Called the Page Turner. So that's all done. And super fun.
Cute.
It needs to be blocked, of course.
It's so cute on.
Super comfortable, and I'm gonna hurry up and get that blocked so I can start wearing it. Because except for the 90-degree day that I had yesterday, we left the house in the morning and it was 85, and we got to Ventura and it was
Yeah, it's 90 degrees
55.
in Fillmore,
It was
but it's
50. It was
60
literally
degrees
it was literally a 30-degree difference.
huge
I think my Google is like weather app is like it keeps telling it's gonna be 80 degrees and then it's 60 for me all day.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to. We maybe should have let her finish spelling because it's
Oh.
not Siobhan.
It's not Shabbat.
It's Shobha. So
Oh.
Shabha maybe.
Shabbat. I don't know. I'm very sorry
It's
if you're
not the Gaelic
listening, and
Shabbat.
I'm horrible with
I'm
names.
wondering how a Gaelic name got into India.
No, not
but-
Gaelic. I knew I was probably spelling it wrong, and I know I'm definitely pronouncing it wrong. For that, I'm very, very sorry.
I had a fight with one of my coworkers about how to pronounce that name correctly. I even looked it up on Google and played it for her, and she still kept saying Siobhan.
Cinnabon. No.
For the Gaelic Siobhan. Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's not the name, okay? Anyway, total aside.
So the Page Turner tunic is by Jessica of Pearls and Postulates, and she's an indie dyer and a newer designer. And of course, I picked the colors for this. In both cases, they're like, wow, I never put those combinations together. So I guess that's my superpower, is color combinations.
Well, they're gorgeous.
The main color, the front color of this one it's like long dashes of neon. What do you call that? Safety.
Oh
Like
yeah,
a chartreuse
it's
green.
Edison yellow.
Edison-
but it's Edison yellow.
Yellow
is a green,
green.
color. Yeah.
But with
Edison Bolt,
dashes
that's what
of
Merlot
like
Josh
of a forest green and little bits of like, okay, that's what Merlot.
Yes, Merlot.
Merlot, we know Merlot. But then the contrast color is totally this purple gray color.
Gorgeous.
Kind of like a grapey kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Really
but yes. And so here's the front where it's mostly green, and it does this like fading to and one sleeve is green and one sleeve is purple. And then the back is the opposite.
Is it reversible, or is there a true front and back?
There's a true front and back. It's just the way, because you work the back separately from the front. It's really interesting how you, at one point you have provisional stitches on the sides when you're coming from one side and you're attaching the sleeve. You'll work the sleeve because you start with a sleeve, and then you're attaching it to the body. And of course, I did Judy's Magic Cast On.
Yes, your favorite.
It was fun because she's like, I never thought of that. That kind of mind blown. I'm like, but I said, yeah, but keep to your original instructions because
it's fiddly.
Yeah.
that might
It's smart, but it's fiddly.
And the people who are tricky will figure out that that's a thing they can do
Yeah,
if they want to do it.
Yeah, I said for the average person that might be too much because you're already throwing a lot at them, going literally cuff to cuff. So, and changing colors and
I love cuff to cuff.
anyway.
It's a fun way to cover the area that is a sweater.
Yeah.
So that, and then I finished a cowl. So I got one of those 12 days of Madeline-tosh, and I ripped
it's
it open.
December 2nd, right?
Oh, who says
Today.
I had to wait? It even
She didn't
says
say
you don't
what
have to
12
wait.
days.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks
Or what
luscious,
holiday?
by the way. Luscious.
Yeah. So it's all these little mini skeins. Okay, my big beef with them is of course, the mini skeins got me about 2/3 through. Of
Was
this.
it a pattern they suggest?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
I changed the pattern. I changed to a
No,
pattern.
but still beef
Wait,
with
wait.
them. It's
I
fine.
changed to No, my beef with them though was that the yarn that they included is high twist, which they discontinued.
Okay.
So if you
That's
run
how you
short
get
of
rid of it.
something, you cannot.
Yeah.
You can't reorder it. Now I ordered
be
a similar
frustrating.
one called Farm Twist, which doesn't have the sheen, but is the same weight, and it works out well.
It looks just as yummy.
I mean, on the one hand, it would be nice to have high twist, but it is kind of a brilliant way to use up the extra surplus of
Yeah.
skeins that you have that you may, by making them into mini kits. So,
Yeah, that's smart.
from a business standpoint, kudos. But from a from a crocheter or crafter standpoint, I'm like, I want more of this.
Grr.
Grr. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna put it on because it is
It's
like
really
big.
cute. What is it? What
It's
is it called? The
called the
pattern.
Juniper Cowl
Cute.
by TL Yarncraft, and it's
She's
all
brilliant.
puff stitch, and it is like
Fun.
it's about 20 inches deep.
That's a big old cowl.
Yeah, it looks
Oh, yeah.
luscious.
So cozy.
It is totally cozy.
Ooh, it's so pretty.
It is wonderful, and it just all these gathers and layers around your neck. It can come up and it won't take the place of a mask, but it'll
it can
cover your mask.
Yeah.
It's just so cozy, and the drape on it is lovely because of this crochet puff stitch.
I really like her designs.
I love her designs. She's like my favorite crocheter. And I mean, every crochet thing I do now, I go to her patterns first. With her new book on the Tunisian crochet handbook. Her first book came out last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I got those kind of Post-its that are clear tabs. They're plastic and nice and firm, so they don't, rip, but they don't hurt the pages.
With my cross stitch
Yeah,
patterns.
it's all tabbed up.
Nice.
So, but besides, okay, so again, that's by Tony Lipsy, and I highly, highly recommend it because besides being all about Tunisian crochet, it has all the basics because Tunisian crochet is built on the foundation of basic crochet. It has all your crochet basics as well. So even if you're a newer crocheter, it's a great picture rich tutorials on all the different techniques you need. And this is like, I don't even want to take this off because it's so
cute.
comfortable. I've got one more thing
Let's see.
that I started and finished today.
Whoa.
Okay, for this I'm
Instant
going to
gratification
need,
is
yeah,
wonderful.
for this I'm going to need Katie's help. Katie, can you reach down to the power and pull up the pick up that power strip and I've got something plugged in and I just want you to press the button. Press the button.
Oh, look at that.
There's a button on the side.
Oh, I made one of those.
So pretty.
Wait. Keep pressing it. This is by Laura Nelkin. It's called Starry Night. I knit a giant star in the round.
Size 17 double pointed needle.
Yeah, on size 17 double
Is that
needles
what you ended up using, or?
out of a strand of wired fairy lights.
I bought a strand of fairy lights like that last year, and I've made it's supposed to be like a wall hanging with the needles attached, so it looks like a piece of knitting as a light.
Cute.
I haven't attached it to the needles and hung it up yet, but
I decided that I guess it goes through all the different cycles. I just got the regular silver ones, but you can get these LEDs where you can. It actually has a remote control, but apparently I got to put a battery in it. They don't give me a battery. Duh.
For shame.
For shame. Yeah. So.
That's adorable.
Isn't it pretty?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got
So
I
how
can
many
hang it
yards
up.
of fairy lights did you
It's
need?
66 yards.
All right.
66 yards, and I've got enough to make 2 more.
All right.
Because of course, she says the first one you do is a little fiddly, it might be awkward. The second one feels comfortable, and by the time you get to the third one, you want to make them for everybody.
Aww,
And it's true.
that's adorable.
It is true.
like that.
There's enough wire that you can actually hang it someplace. You have it's not just like you're not going to run out of wire when you're hanging, trying to, plug it in and reach someplace. Although it's getting all tangled on itself now. So, anyway,
Cute.
she tells you all the things you need. That's kind of why I need the wire cutter. But hey, my old Fiskars that were like cheapo old.
Okay. The ding in the blade is hurting. Yeah. It's hurting my soul.
No, they've lasted like 16 years. So
nice.
Anyway,
now they have a ding in the blade.
No, they have a ding in the blade. Probably.
No, not necessarily. If it's a soft wire, that's really cool.
Yeah, because you string, like any. I think she said 15 to 17 gauge. Only I don't know where they have that because here it's the gauge is all in even numbers. So it's a 16 gauge wire.
I
did. So the very last row you're just gonna put regular wire through it, like aluminum wire, to help it, and then you pull it all out into its shape. So there you go.
Adorable.
Yeah, it's a little wonky right now, but whatever. I'm proud of myself. I did something. Quick gratification, something in a day. Yeah,
fantastic. So, it's so cute and glittery. Sparkle.
So that was like plus 83 bags. And
let's give full credit. I mean, Katie, you should go back and do your count.
Oh yeah.
No, I didn't make. Yeah, I don't remember.
After a while you stop paying attention, but I didn't stop paying attention, but anyway, will you unplug me now?
Yes.
Thank you.
And what did you finish?
All right, I have a list.
A list.
That's the wrong list. All right. I finished 5 more ribbon reels.
Boy.
Wow.
4 were here for sale, and half of them sold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Of the new. And then I made my mom one. I gave it to her at Thanksgiving. And so normally these wreaths are taking, like, I recommend a set of 3 different 2.5-inch ribbons. But, like, it's sort of like when you're putting fabric together for a quilt. And you're like, and then this one would look really cool with this one, and then that one would look really cool. Or the other thing addictive nature I could compare it to is when you're putting yarn together for a fade. Like, ooh, look at this fade. Look at this fade. Okay. That
was a really good analogy right there.
8 ribbons in my mom's.
Nice.
It's really cute.
Take a picture of it?
Yes, I do. And I will probably put this picture on Instagram for you dear listeners who can't see through the sound waves.
Yeah.
Then I finished 8 what I'm calling snuggle quilts, which were inspired by you guys' techniques.
That's real cute.
Took
oh, that one's pretty.
My mom's Wreath. She's from Minnesota, and I came across this pine cone.
I loved that one.
Ribbon and plaids, but she also likes sparkles, so I have these sparkly balls in the center. But I was really riffing off like a woodsy Christmas, like her first Christmases. She said she liked it and allowed me to put it on the door. So I think she liked it. So I was very proud of it. So the quilts I've been making, Katie gave me that wonderful quilt for my birthday that's backed with fleece, and it is so comfy and so snuggly. And then you both have done quilt as you go projects over the last few years, which I think is very clever. So I took, what are those called? The 2.5-inch rolls, jelly rolls?
Yep.
So I took some jelly rolls and just did the strips and did a quilt as I go to the fleece. Brilliant. And it's really snuggly, and they're fun to make. And then I also did some charm square packs with those.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And those are my favorite, actually. I did like 4 rows of charm squares, then 10 jelly roll strips, then 4 rows of charm squares, and I really, really like that setup. And if this sounds intriguing, I think it will be a class in the new year. So 8 quilts. 111 bowl hugger
and we have
pot
5
holders,
left.
Of which,
so.
you sold
Which was nice.
Yeah.
Which is good because I had an employee at the beginning. I asked my daughter to help me mark the batting because that's one of the patterns I had is you mark the batting where these darts go to shape it into this bowl hugger shape. And then I realized that I could do a template on my sewing machine needle plate.
Oh.
Fold it in half and line the corner up with the
Smart.
template for the dart and just zoom.
Just line it up with
zoom
that.
through. Yeah. So there's an odd number because I did make a promise of one that was no longer in stock. And making that one took as long as it takes to make 10.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those kind of things.
So it's like, might as well batch sew that. I came across a pattern for ones that are meant for like pints of ice cream.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm going to make those next year.
That's smart.
111 bowl huggers, and those were a grand success.
Cool.
I think.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of them.
Yeah, wreaths, bowl huggers, and quilts.
There you go.
And I have finished 16 watercolor paintings.
Yes, beautiful.
That are being used for our Stitch Miss blog event.
Yep.
It's the time of year we blog. So if you like to hear our point of view, please tune into our Instagram and check out our blog posts on our website. I'm having a lot of fun with watercolor, which is more fun than cross stitch.
The little pictures that you have done are beautiful.
Oh, thank you. 8 more to come.
Love it.
There's one you haven't seen yet because I smudged it.
Aw. Well,
So technically there's 9 to come.
I wish I was artsy like that. Like, I always think it would be fun to be able to, like, watercolor.
Try it.
I have.
I
it
love
again. Stresses me
watercolor.
out.
Oh, then it's not fun.
It's not
But
fun
it could be
I
like
want it
cross
to be.
stitch because I hated cross stitch as a kid. But maybe someday you'll come back to it.
See, I think my form of art is, like, coloring in a coloring book.
Well, that's fine.
Like, that's fun. But I would like to be the sort of person that can, like, take their palette with them and go sit somewhere beautiful and paint a picture.
yeah.
And that's never going to be me.
Nah.
I'm
And that's
artsy, I'm
not
not
me
craftsy.
either. Yeah.
Or I'm craftsy, I'm not artsy.
I have gone to art school. But I'm not really a plein air painter either.
Yeah.
I
I'd
wish.
like to think that would be fun. But
Yeah, I wish I could go, like, my mom took her watercolors to Hawaii and did some simple watercolors of the
Yeah,
places
see?
they stayed. That is not part of my holiday regimen.
What the summer that I was pregnant with my youngest, we went because we used to go camping every year. Every pregnancy, slept in a tent
Well, you're a
on the
better
ground.
woman than I am.
But we were up in Sequoia, and that summer we decided that we would do one of those walking tours that had watercolor, and they provide the paper and the pen and the a little jar of water and the paints and the brushes. They provide all that. You just show up, and it was free.
That sounds amazing.
That's awesome. So they took us around the trail and everything, and then you went off and for like 20 minutes and you painted something, and our youngest at the time was 5, and he says it was a big sequoia. Sure, okay. But what we actually did, is they had to be like 5x7 little pieces of paper, and we have them on our wall.
That's really cool.
I did one, my husband did one, and at the time the two sons had one.
That is adorable. What a fun thing to do. I wonder if they still do anything like that.
I don't know.
But I'm not willing to camp to find out.
I was gonna say,
Well, no, you don't have to be. You can be like
can just show up on
You
the
can do
day.
RVs.
you can stay
just
at the lodge.
Yeah.
you can stay at the lodge. You
Uh-huh.
can. Yeah, they don't ask you for your.
If you camped or not.
Yeah, what's your campsite
Although they
reservation
probably
number?
can tell by the ones who are like.
Who's rested and who's walking funny. I'm almost willing
I have
to
no idea what
camp
that
to
means.
go like a crick in your neck.
No, we have air mattresses. We're not that rugged.
I never have any success with air mattresses. It's on the floor in the morning.
Oh, it is, yeah, but
It's gonna be most of the night.
most of the night.
I really just need to fall asleep. That's the main.
I will tell you, being pregnant, it was a lot easier to roll onto my knees than if I'd been higher.
Fair enough. That's a good point.
Are those all of your things?
Those are all the things I finished.
Yeah.
Well, that can be our segue into our topic for today. Is you were mentioning our blog. If you want to check it out, it's right on our website. There's a little tab that says blog. You just click right on that. And coinciding with the blog posts that should be up when this episode is up, or soon thereafter around this time, I want to talk about some local businesses that we all like and patronize and think that you should too. Great for, the holiday season and supporting local businesses. It's past Small Business Saturday, but, the spirit lives on.
With
So-
the tremendous support we got at our boutique and are continuing to
Mhm.
get, it just makes me so acutely aware of
Yeah.
how the community is showing up to support your small
Makes a
business.
huge difference.
I mean, that happens for us all year long, but we just got this burst of support, and I want to show that around the community.
Yeah. So we each came up with 3 places that we'd like to share and talk about. So, Anne, you want to go first?
Sure. Okay. So, first on my list.
And some of these you've probably heard of or
yeah,
heard us talk about,
talked
or
about.
maybe have been to. But
Yeah, all those things.
Yeah.
So, first on my list, my first 2 are pretty new businesses in our community. Timber Books, which I feel like we mention every book podcast.
Every book club episode.
I do, if it's my turn, I try, and I think we've all done this in turn, I try to buy my copy there.
Mhm.
Because, and then when it's my turn, I just like having the copy of the
actual
book.
copy.
Of course, this time I'm sort of running out of time, so I probably will also be adding the
I'm
audiobook.
also running out of time.
So Timber Books was founded about a year ago. They are on Main Street in the area we would kind of call Midtown, 1924 East Main Street in Ventura. They had their anniversary in October. It is a charming, like, galley style shop. They have a lot of books crammed in there. They will order anything you want, period. So I have just been making a concerted effort to buy as many books that I distinctly know I want and just have them order it for me. Sometimes you wander in the bookstore and you're like, I wonder what I'll find. But I'm also, if I have a list of things I'm looking for, so far she's been able to order everything for me. Granted, I've been scared off by the paper shortage of this winter, so I haven't asked for any orders since October. They started something really cool. It's a like a subscription service, and you can do fiction or nonfiction books, and you can do 1 month, 3, 6, or the year. Cool. And they choose whatever category you choose. They're going to curate the book choice, and you end up saving a little bit on the cost of the hardcover, and then there'll be like free goodies in there too.
That's nice.
That's really fun.
Yeah, so that seems
like a mystery book club.
Well, I feel mixed because I like to have control over my choice as far as books go, but then again, I also like to be surprised. Like it's super fun when it's not my turn to choose for the book club. They're lovely. I don't know any of them well or personally.
The only girl that I've talked to, the only couple times I've been in there, has been very nice.
Yeah, I mean, lovely experience every time I go in there. Their Instagram is very fun. Every Tuesday they post the new releases, and
it's such a pretty shop just to walk around.
Yeah.
It's the kind of shop I could see sitting. It's got that wonderful vintage library feel with their art, with some of the bookshelves have arches.
And I think
the kind of place I would want to sit and read for a while.
Shelves. They're all custom built, but I think by the owners.
That's cool.
They're very, like, if you watch their Instagram, they're pretty DIY. Like, they had a bunch of personalized like shirts and hats, and they were doing the patches. And
that's cool.
Awesome.
I can't think of the word. The transfers onto the shirt. It's fun, and you can, and they really are doing like a community vibe there.
And we don't have another local bookstore in town, really.
No.
So
yeah,
nice.
I mean, we have
like
our used bookstores, which are also awesome businesses. Bendigo Books and it's directly across the street from work, and I can't think of what it's called.
Oh, no. I can only think of
Bank of Books. Bank of Books
yeah.
is closer downtown, and a Bendigo is midtown. And those are great because cool for used books. But Timber is just that lovely, perfect,
so cool
local book shop. And
I shopped there for books for my husband for Christmas last year, and got him some books on musicians that he really likes that we'd never heard of and we didn't see online anyplace.
So it seems well curated as well as like a big selection for a small space.
Yeah,
they have a lot of local, if not local to
actually, one of them was about a local person.
Southern California. They just had the woman who was the mother on Little House on the Prairie has a memoir,
She does?
and they just had
Laura
her.
Ingalls' mom.
Yeah,
not,
they just
not
had
really.
her as a.
I mean,
her name is
That's awesome.
Ma.
Ma.
No.
Yeah. Well, the actress's name is Karin Grassel,
That's right.
aka Ma.
Ma.
Of Little House on the Prairie. So they just had like a really cool signing event with her.
That's awesome.
How cool.
They're also super inclusive.
Is she
like
local?
they have like a whole like anti-racism section and like yeah.
I gotta go in there.
It's a great spot. Please visit it if you have not already. It's next door to a coffee shop too.
Singing Sun.
Singing Sun.
Yeah. Which I would have talked more about, but they don't have any baked goods when I've gone in there, and that's why the next one I like will be talked about. Shall we round robin?
Yeah, Karin, you want to go next?
Okay. So, ironically, I won't be able to make my appointment tomorrow because of things going on. But every now and then, I have a monthly standing appointment with our friend Cheryl Ruiz, who does Skincare by Cheryl. It's skincare_Cheryl on Instagram, and so she does amazing facials. It's like, and she's the one who has helped me grow my brows back because
They look very healthy.
I was an over tweezer for years.
That's the way they wanted you to be.
No. The section that was like in the corner that covers the corner of your eyes was getting farther and farther apart, wider and wider, because if I saw silver, which I have a lot of silver in my brows, I was plucking them out, so I had big old bald spots.
Aww.
So for over a year, I've been going there, and so I don't touch them because she has a better view of how they should be shaped. But not only that, but like occasionally if you'll treat yourself to do some self-care and give yourself a facial, every time you go in, your facial is going to be a little different because it's going to be whatever your skin tells her it needs to be. Like sometimes I need more moisture, or other times I think I actually fell asleep and snored a little bit last time.
Probably gets that a lot.
And she doesn't mind at all.
No.
She's one of my favorite human beings.
Yeah.
She
first of all.
absolutely is.
She's probably listening
She's
to
probably,
this
"Hi, Cheryl."
right now.
I hope so. So
I love you.
anyway, I just want to say, if you have a chance to,
She's just really good at what she does.
she's
Yes.
awesome and she's lovely and she makes you feel wonderful.
It's not
and
easy for me to trust someone to touch me.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And she's just truly wonderful at what she does.
she's so nurturing.
Yep. Yep.
And sometimes I just don't have that in my life, and so to have her do that for me she's like the best friend ever who takes care of my skin.
And she's super educated at what she
Yes.
does.
Absolutely.
She's really mindful about the products she chooses.
Mm-hmm.
The facial massage stuff that she's been studying the last couple of years is
Oh yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah.
I love following her on Instagram. I'm learning so
Yeah.
many things.
Yes.
I know. I'm like, when are you gonna? Okay, that thing that they did to your face. When are you gonna do
that
that?
to me.
Do that to me. I know.
And all that stuff is very effective for
Yeah.
like keeping your skin springy and youthful, and just
Yeah, I
keeping
didn't.
your
It's only been the last.
system healthy.
It's only been the last like 5 to 6 years I've really started taking care of my skin. It's almost like after it's already a little too late, but not too late to take care of what I got for the rest
It's
of.
never too late.
Nope. I remember the first time I had a facial, my skin was so super dry that it felt like I was walking away with like a moat on my face, and I just couldn't handle it. But now I leave it moist. Anyway,
she's
so that was
really good.
skincare_Cheryl on Instagram. If
Where
check
do
out
you
her
visit
stuff.
her?
I visit her locally at
LeBeau?
Le Beau Salon. It's over by Lassen's.
Yep.
But I know it's by appointment only, so that's why I'm suggesting follow her on Instagram. And at Christmas time, maybe you can, maybe you can't.
A gift
Gift
certificate
certificate
is a
gift
great
certificate,
present.
honestly, that's what I
For a
want.
mom or like a grandma or
Absolutely.
whoever.
For the new year, it's like forget about resolutions. I just let me self-care.
yeah, treat yourself. Well, my first pick is a bakery in Fillmore called Rowan Mills. They've been open for a couple of years in their like physical location on Central Avenue downtown in Ventura. If you enjoy bread or
I like
bread.
bread.
Baked goods, Rowan Mills is
And
great.
farm fresh stuff.
Yes,
straight that they grow on their own place.
They have
Ooh.
everything is farm fresh. They grow their own wheat. They mill their own flour. They bake the bread. They
Wow.
also have like salad mix sometimes, or like any sort of flour you could want if you do your own baking. Like local produce
not gluten free,
sometimes.
but
Yeah,
the rest of the
unfortunately
family,
not.
but their sourdough, I'm told from the family, is amazing.
They make pies during the holidays. They do a lot of like farmers markets and stuff. So they're open Wednesdays and Saturdays only in their physical location, but that's also where they do all their like production.
You can order online and pick up on those days.
Yeah, and they also do like homemade pasta, all kinds of good stuff. So it's like a nice treat. My sister and I would go to like take the kids to like story time at the library on Wednesdays, and then stop by afterwards, and the kids get a cookie, and they have like really good sandwiches too. Cookies, treats. So if you're like going to a holiday party, you need to pick up something to bring with you. They've got lots of delicious, yummy stuff. So
I picked up a mushroom hand pie for my youngest who's vegan
nice.
because it doesn't have butter in it, and it was amazing.
Ooh,
Yeah, they have lots of good
I like
stuff.
baked things very much.
So if you find yourself in Fillmore or near Fillmore on a Wednesday or a Saturday, it's worth stopping in because they have yummy, yummy things. That's Rowan, Roan, Mills. You could also follow them on Instagram.
Okay, I was spelling it with a W, so I was not getting very far.
R-O-A-N.
There they are.
So that's my first pick is yummy treats.
I always want to do an honorable mention when we're doing this because when I just picked up Roan Mills, it came up with another local business that follows them that I really like that isn't already on my list.
Well, we could do an honorable mention at the end.
All right. Okay, guess it's my turn again.
Your turn.
My next is the lovely coffee shop on the North Ventura Avenue called Love Well Coffee.
I've heard of it, and I know people who love it, and I have yet to. I'm never over there.
Right.
I need to go.
It's. I mean, technically, if I had a local coffee shop, it is technically my local coffee shop.
Yeah.
I have a standing Friday morning date with my middle son that we take his sister to school, and then he and I go back because it's
nice.
near Dianza Middle School. It's formerly Django's Coffee, which we knew the owners there, and we adored those owners. I didn't like it that much when it was sold to new owners. Just the vibe changed and life changed a little too, so it just wasn't convenient to go, which is why it took me a little while to get to Lovewell. Is I had to like make an effort to make time to go there,
to try it.
And it's worth it. It's very good. They're so sweet and cute.
Yeah, it looks very adorable.
Yes, they redecorated the whole inside. It's a whole new situation in there. They do have a ton of cute like goods, like somebody's making clay earrings. They have a bunch of cute Christmas decorations. There's a leave one take one library. Which I picked up where the crawdads sing, so if we need to pass that around, I don't know if you guys have already read that. I know that was one we wanted to, like, we talked about wanting. Anyway.
Everybody else has read it.
Yeah. I am trepidatious about leaving Night Bitch there, but, like, I'm done with that book, and I'm thinking that's a good place to leave it.
Sure.
I think if I put it on a high shelf.
They can move it if they don't like it.
Yeah. My understanding is it's two Irish sisters. And they are always so lovely when we go in. We go Friday mornings, and they like bring you your coffee. So they ask your name, they pay attention to where you sit down, and it's nice. Like a
it's like
table
a real
service
coffee shop
instead of just calling your name over.
Yeah,
it's just very lovely. Yeah, and they so.
When did they open on Saturday? Because I think it's Saturday.
Oh, it doesn't look like they're open very early. Well, no, that might be a lie. They're not open late. That's the thing I think is in my brain. So each season, instead of little plastic stoppers, they have these kind of heavy-duty stickers that they put over the opening of the drink. So at Halloween it was little candy corns.
Oh, how cute.
And then they switched to these little like minty looking swirls for
like a Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
Cute.
And so then I get a picture of Dante wearing it somewhere funny, and it's so cute. He's a 13-year-old boy, so he doesn't think he's very cute, but
you think he is.
He's still very cute. They open at 7, Monday through
Oh,
Saturday,
that's great.
7 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Tea and coffee shop, so they have tea also.
Yeah, and I don't know who's bringing in their baked goods, but they are amazing.
Nice.
So, yum.
Good to know.
Dante, the first time we went in probably late September, he saw this thing. It was a babka roll.
Oh yeah, babka.
And I'd never had babka. I'd like heard of it. And then every week since, they had not had it. And so he was obsessed that he get a babka wheel. So I bought some babka from Trader Joe's, and that was yummy. But actually, I don't know what it tasted like because I was showering when they broke into the food, and he knocked on my door and he's like, "How many can I have?" I'm like, "Have one serving."
Yeah.
Then he comes knocking on my door again, and he's like, "Can I have yours?" And I'm like, "No, I also want to know what it tastes like." So later, I go out and everybody's in bed, and there's a plate on the table, but no babka.
Oh.
I think the dog snatched it.
Oh well.
Oh, wow.
Which is not good because it has chocolate, but they didn't die. So I asked him about it later. I'm like, "Did you eat my serving?" He's like, "No, I had every ounce of self-control to not eat your piece."
Sure.
So the week before Thanksgiving, they did have babka roll, and it was flipping amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. So their baked goods are so good. So 2 Irish sisters, really cute inside, amazingly nice.
Their
I gotta
website,
go.
their
It's-
menu is really cute.
Yeah, the vibe that was great about Django's of the local coffee shop is back.
Nice.
And they have really cute stickers, too. They have the
to know.
Clada is one of them. They have a roller skate one. That's the one I picked up. They have a loyalty card.
Okay, I'll get one
It's
of
fun.
those.
Yeah, they're lovely. They're like, it's the classic punch card. It's
Yeah.
lovely.
That's awesome.
So I very much enjoy Level. I'm glad we're making the time to go there.
Cool. Karin, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is in Santa Paula, and they've been there a long time, but I only the last year started going. Rabelais. Rabelais classic.
Amazing.
So good.
So if you want like New Orleans style food, green, like my favorite thing is actually the shrimp and grits with a great, but actually for breakfast, because sometimes I'll go there and try to pick up a breakfast, either on my way in
I always think when I'm there, I should stop here on my way to work and pick up coffee and a treat.
Yes.
And every time I'm like, I should remember to do this. And the one time I did, they had no baked goods, and I was so upset because all I wanted was a muffin. And I was like, this has got to be an anomaly because they didn't have anything in their case. I was sad. But
Highly
they have
unusual.
such good stuff. So this was like 3 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
Supply chain issue.
No. But every time I go now, I get cookies to go.
I will say
Lemon bars. Oh my god, they're so good.
Okay, so if you are used to chain store coffee, such as like Starbucks, you get a really you're not. It wasn't until I went to Rabelais I started really appreciating the really good coffee, because a lot of times, like on a Sunday morning, my husband plays on the worship band at church, so I gotta drop him off before 7. Usually I'm in my pajamas, but if I want to get coffee, I will not go in my pajamas. I will actually take a shower and be dressed so I can go into Rabelais because they open at 7. And now their food's not available till a little bit later, but I can get their coffee, and their espresso is so good. You only get a little bit. You're not getting jumbo sizes, but you're getting really excellent quality espresso. It's smooth and delicious. My husband gets the Americana. They've got great cold brew. I have gotten baked goods to take home to the family, but if I go there a little bit later, like on a Saturday morning when they do have it, I like their Bayou Benedict.
Yeah,
I've had
So
that.
good.
It's
I
so
love
good
a
because
Benedict
I can get
Yeah.
it not. It's not necessarily served on a. It's not served. It's served with bread, but not on bread. So I can set the bread aside for someone else who can eat it. But I like it served on spinach greens.
I've been
it's
there for
delicious.
breakfast, lunch, dinner. It's all good.
I haven't been for dinner ever.
They have like fried
went
chicken
for Mother's
once a
Day,
week.
actually.
It was so good.
My
They have a fried
favorite-
chicken.
Mhm.
What day of the week?
I don't remember. I'd have to look. It's like Friday nights or something.
My favorite
but-
Rabelais moment was when the kids were at Ventura Charter School, they did all school camp out, and they were camping at I can't think of it. Steckles. Thank you.
Mhm.
And it's like a 3-day event thing, and you're dirty and you're gross and you're grumpy.
Mm-hmm.
And I dropped the kids off, and I left them there with all the other grumpy, cold parents, and then I took myself to Rabelais and had a warm, beautiful, nice breakfast.
If you go
And
there
it's-
to eat, like to sit down to eat, you gotta give yourself some time because it does take a little while.
It does
Yeah,
take a
it's
long
Their
time.
service is a little slow, but it's worth it because it's very good. If you want to like sit and chat and like catch
It's-
up with somebody, it's
Perfect.
excellent.
It is like really, really well made. It's run by a family. It's like, oh wow, sometimes that, like, I know their daughter Leah, because she and her husband are the worship team leaders, but sometimes she's not there because sometimes she helps her mom who works on the Sunday so it's neat that it's a family run thing, and
Mhm.
everybody there has been super nice. It's just it's a great place.
I remember something about Lovewell, which you might care about, Katie.
Okay.
They have excellent ice.
Ice is very important to me.
So this is what I like. And it must be extruded. Like, I imagine that this perfect ice is going through like pipes as it freezes. It's that cylindrical ice that's not frozen hard.
So it's
And when
kinda
you
crunchy?
crunch it, it just crumbles into icy wonderfulness.
Nice.
They
That
have
is not my favorite kind of ice, but I
it's
can
my
appreciate that for
favorite.
you.
It's my favorite.
I want
What's-
ice that's gonna last as long as possible
yeah.
because I want my
No,
drink
I
to
w-
be as cold as possible.
If I'm looking for ice, I'm probably wanting to crunch it.
No, I don't eat my ice. I
I
just
do.
want it to
Oh.
make my drink cold.
See, I like the crunch ice, so that's good to know.
Yeah, they have good
I have
ice.
sensitive
One last thing
teeth.
about Rabelais, only because they're a local small business that supports another local small business. They use the local coffee roasters, Prospect
Nice.
coffee roasters. So it's kind of neat that they're very community minded.
And Prospect is another great place too.
Is another great place. Where is Prospect?
There's one downtown.
Yes, but they're
It's
doing
on like a
something
side
new.
street. Yeah.
It's it's Santa Clara and the street before Ann Street, because it's the street before Mirabella's school.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But they're in the honorable mention category.
Yeah.
Sure.
The thing is that in my last experience, I met those owners, and they are two really cool guys.
Mhm.
But I didn't see any baked goods there.
No, but they have good coffee.
They do.
Um,
It's Laurel Street,
Laurel, okay.
which I think is the same street as the
That's the one with the theater on it. Yeah.
theater. Yep.
Down from there. My second choice is Super Buzzy.
Ding ding
I was gonna choose that, but
Well,
I
I
didn't
think-
speak up loud enough. That's
we
okay.
would
I've
all
gotta,
choose it.
We would
Yes.
all choose
Yeah.
that.
I put it on the list because we all love it, and
Yeah.
if you're listening to this, you've probably been there. And if not, treat yourself and
You
take
need to go.
yourself to Super
You
Buzzy.
need to go.
Even if you're not
Yeah.
a sewer or quilter, they
She's
have
got other
yarn.
stuff.
She's
Yeah.
got all kinds of fun stuff and like little gifty things.
If you're a cross stitcher, she
Yeah.
has all of the Cosmo,
Very
which
nice
I
thread.
think is superior to DMC. That's just my opinion.
It's everything is so cute. It's such a fun store. You always find something you need. All
The employees
really
are
good
great.
quality stuff. And Kelly, the owner, is wonderful.
Yep.
She always remembers my name. She
Yep.
walks in. She's like, "Hi, Katie. How you doing?" And I had to have a little chat with her. She's very friendly. She was telling me about her daughter the other day and how she's like graduating college or something.
What?
Maybe not, but she was like
Oh,
little tiny
I
when
think
I
she's
first started
graduating
going
high
there.
school.
Well, whatever.
Or maybe she's
old.
on to college now.
I just looked at. They've been open for
No.
15 years.
Oh.
They opened in 2006, but that might have
Yeah.
been online.
Yeah,
first.
she
I
didn't
don't
have
know
a
when
brick
their
and mortar
physical
right away.
location opened.
Because I
but
know I've been going to the brick and mortar since
Since they
the
opened.
minute.
Yeah, me too. My grandma took me there the first time I went, and it's just the best.
Yeah.
And also, what a great afternoon, because you go to Super Buzzy, then you can go to Singing Sun, and then you can go to Timber. It's
And
like
there's
all
that-
within a
The
little.
cute
Within a
little
block
gift
of each
shop
other.
next to
Mhm.
Timber, which is, what is that called?
I don't remember.
It's a cute little gift shop next to Timber.
Yeah. But that's just a fun little afternoon
Yeah.
for yourself. Go buy some fabric. They have all well, not all, but Japanese products and fabric and yarn, but also other name brands that you
I have
would
a Japanese
recognize and-
sewing book. It doesn't matter that I don't know Japanese.
No.
No,
Yeah.
Japanese craft books and knitting books and stuff
They're
are really
fantastic.
well made. But I always find it's so fun to look through all her notions and We love Super
I always
Buzzy,
walk
so-
out with more than
Oh yeah.
because she's got all the cute stuff.
But in the best way.
Yes,
Somebody gave me a
yes.
gift card to Super Buzzy like a year or two ago or something. I don't remember, but it was like, this is the best present ever.
Yeah.
No, see, I already know what I'm getting for my birthday.
Oh, good.
Is because it's a combination because my birthday's 2 days after Christmas. I've convinced my mother-in-law a couple years ago that that's where I'm going to spend my money anyway. So why don't you just
That's like when
give
we
me a
worked at
gift
Anna Kappa.
certificate?
It's like, I want a gift certificate to Anna Kappa. Yeah, but you work there. I'm like, yeah, but I spend
And
my
think
money
how-
there.
Yeah, and think how much farther with that employee discount
Oh,
our money
yeah.
went. But no,
Yeah.
but at Super Buzzy, I'm so excited. I'm already planning. Okay, I know the projects I want to do at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Well, right now it's an
Because-
exciting time.
Mhm.
So you'll hear this on the 6th of December.
Because I'll still get my because if I go before the end of December, but after Christmas,
She
I
has
get
a
my birthday
club. Yeah,
discount.
so join her mailing list because she sends you a birthday card. I'm in August, and that's just always a very hard financial month for me, so I almost never use that card, but I appreciate it. It's married to a teacher. It's always fun.
Yeah.
But December 6th, you'll be hearing this if you listen right away.
Yeah.
And she does this fun thing every
Oh,
December
yeah.
where she sends an email with an insane deal
Yep.
for 12 days
day.
in December.
Yep.
It's I think she like skips somewhere in there, so it doesn't line up perfectly, but I'm tuned in. I'm
Yeah.
looking for that email
well,
every
it
day.
doesn't. It doesn't land on Mondays because she's closed Mondays.
Oh,
So
maybe that. So on the 6th,
unless you do
won't get it.
online,
Look on
but I
her
think-
Instagram
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
she'll
Just
have all the posts about
Check it out.
Yeah.
There.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's probably already started.
You did, yeah.
What do we miss today?
You missed Ulfa rotary blades. You
Oh,
might
I
not
did
have
use that.
missed because it's still. I know I regret not doing it. I have to be smart about when I open that email so that I can like concentrate and buy it.
Yeah.
Today was a very interesting looking quilt book that was almost 50% off.
Mm.
In the description, she talked about it being somebody who is like very influential to her own creative
I'm going
process.
on my phone now and looking them up.
Do we need to pause?
No,
No, keep going.
Super Buzzy is a wonderful business.
We love them.
Yep. Kona, all the colors of Kona.
Every color you could ever
Oh,
want.
Yeah. And then I love.
And it's cheaper there than like a lot of places and online. It's
Mhm.
like it's comparable if not a little bit less.
Yeah. And it's really smart to you can order that one online with her, or definitely if you do it, have them email you the receipt, because it has been endlessly useful to be like, what color did I buy on that last project?
Yeah.
And I search
Oh.
my email and it has the exact color name.
Yep.
I love it.
They also will put the color name on a
Oh,
sticker.
On a sticker.
Okay,
Yes.
so what I do
purchases,
is as I'm cutting up the fabric, because it comes up, it'll all come in a really neat Ziploc bag, and I will put all my cut pieces and the stickers on that Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have so
They
many
were
helpful
doing
things.
the order ahead curbside pickup
Yeah,
before,
I did that a couple times.
but before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So at Christmas time, I have taken advantage of that and shopped while I'm at work.
Nice.
Mhm.
And then it's ready either by the. I mean, I don't think that can be quite as fast now that it's a more used service, but I had instances where it was ready by the time I was ready to leave work. I leave work like 10, 15 minutes early because they close at 5. That's the only bummer. And it's all ready. So like I could come here and start stitching my Christmas
That's
present.
nice.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Well,
So-
who's next? Anne, you're next.
Yep. My third is Grassroots Yoga, which is also on Main Street. It's a very long street if you're not familiar with Ventura, because
Yeah.
I think 2/3 of our businesses have been on Main Street.
Yeah.
Grassroots Yoga is a really wonderful, welcoming yoga studio in Ventura. I am kind of newer to them. I started going regularly this summer. They have been in place for, I think, maybe 3 years, but I was attending a different studio when they were getting their feet under them. They're at 2280 East Main Street. It's next to Mission Animal Hospital, and on the corner, it's Seaward and Main Street, essentially. So right across from the high school. There's a donut store and a coffee shop and a taco place.
Nice.
So if you need to refuel after your workout, I have smelled the donut shop in there.
That's helpful.
Yeah. um, it's heated yoga, which I love, but not all their classes are heated. During the pandemic, they were occupying Camino Real Park and doing outdoor classes, which wasn't really my cup of tea, but I think that that was really popular. So they also still offer those outdoor classes. They have every kind of yoga you could possibly care to practice. And I don't have like a lot of experience with different studios, but every single instructor, even though they all have their own unique take, is welcoming and inviting. And I heard this, I don't know if they self-describe this way, but I heard it described by someone else as a trauma-informed studio. They take their start and end times very seriously. I've actually not had any of the teachers physically correct me, but that might be because of the time that I started practicing with them. But no one has ever touched me, which to me, that's important. Not that physical correction, that I'd be fully opposed to that in a yoga class.
That's something that should have be only done with permission.
Yeah, and they're just really, really mindful of everyone. Like, I don't know how to fully describe that, but they are, I feel very welcome there, even though you know that you're safe. Thank you. Yeah. Even though you know you're like coming into an established community, I feel great when I practice there.
That's nice.
And they have a full schedule all day long from 6:15 a.m. to 7:15, practically every day. Wow. I think Saturdays and Sundays are shorter days, but during the week they have classes almost every hour. They have lots of workshops and events. And then if finding a new place to practice yoga is not something you're doing right now, they also have a adorable boutique with lots of locally sourced candles and self-care things.
Stuff. Yeah.
Sometimes they have food items, jewelry. They have a lot of branded stuff that's really cute. It seems like they change the style of fashion like every week. They have new things in the boutique. And so if you're just looking to shop for your gifts, they have a gorgeous boutique, and it's open, again, all day long.
Nice.
I love Grassroots. They're really sweet.
Cool. Karin?
So my last one, I have it on written down, is also our other local fabric store. I mean, not the non-chain fabric store, which would be Fabric Town.
They are a fixture.
They are a fixture. They've been here.
Worked there when I was little.
Really? Aww.
I remember going to visit her when she worked
I
there.
really appreciate that they are seasoned, professional, but also very knowledgeable people. If you have a question, they have a great selection, an amazing selection of notions.
It's the place to go if you need a thing, because they have everything.
Yeah.
Any kind of fabric you could want, they probably have it, or notion, or ribbon, or button, or they have so much.
So I like to go there for, like, I will say, between that and Super Busy, I've learned that there is a difference even in quality of fabric. Let's take Moda or any well-known fabric house. That what you get at like a Joann's may have the same print, but the base fabric that it is printed on, there's a reason why Joann's is cheaper.
Yeah.
Because not much, but their base fabric is not as good. For instance, when we first opened, I got this is more Super Busy, but it's also true for Fabric Town. Fabric I've gotten from either of those places, garments I've made from there. I'm not today, I guess. I have a pair of pants that I made from fabric I got at Super Busy, and it was a pricier, more per yard, fabric, but I wear those pants every week for the last 3.5 years, and they're still wear really, really well. They haven't worn out. So, and stuff for the family. I love to get stuff from there from Fabric Town,
Well, the thing you're
and they
talking
have yarn
about
too.
is like the thread. There's a thread count difference in
Mhm.
fabric manufacturers, and our high quality stores like Fabric Town and Super Buzzy, they're getting first run fabrics,
Mhm.
and so you need to pay first run prices
Mhm.
because they are to get it to you. But Joann's gets third run, which is a significantly lower thread count. I think it's Eleanor Burns who told this story. She's kind of a famous quilter who's been around for decades. She's probably like the Elizabeth Zimmerman of the quilt world, of like bringing quilting back to being accessible. She tells a story about having run out of fabric and needing just literally like 1 2-inch square to finish a block. And she was able to go to, House of Fabrics and Joann's ubiquitous because one bought the other. Bought the square fabric, finished her quilt, went on with life. She uses the quilt. She washes the quilt. What is the one place to wear out on the quilt? Literally that one little block of fabric.
Mm.
Even though it matched perfectly. So, I mean, as long as you know what you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that fills me with rage is that Joann's now tries to command first run prices for their third run fabrics. Because
they know you're going to use a coupon.
Well, that's true too. And then that's another rage fueler is
Right.
price things honestly.
Right. Yeah, shouldn't need to have the coupon to get the value of the thing that you're selling. Yeah.
JCPenney's tried that, and then they that guy didn't even last. That CEO didn't even last a year.
It's that same frustration, like in a different application of when you have tickets to go on an airplane, but you get bumped because they oversell it.
Right.
I feel like the fabric, they're overselling, overpricing, for the value. So I totally agree. But having said that, places like Fabric Town and Super Buzzy, but so Fabric Town would be my other go-to place. If I, it all depends on the purpose.
Well, if it's to go to each other,
yeah,
like it's this wonderful symbiosis
they know.
of our fiber world. Is like if you need something more.
How long have they been there? How long has Fabric Town been there?
I gotta say maybe 50 years or something like that.
I think you're on the right.
Yeah.
I think you're on the right path with at least. So I was like a little girl when we were visiting Ventura, and I remember. So that's gonna be 4 decades. So give it 3 decades.
Well, I moved here in '94, and they'd been well established before that.
1973.
All right,
wow.
There you go. Almost 50 years.
Yeah,
you nailed it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think many different owners in the meantime, but the current owner, I can't remember her name.
I don't know her name either, but she's wonderful.
Very nice.
Yeah. And responsive to like what people want her to bring in.
She's always asking us like, tell us what you want, or if you are looking for something. I've talked to her before, so she's like you said, she's very responsive to
I love
stuff like that.
Their round of Robert Kaufman plaids that are right when you walk in. Those are so luscious and beautiful.
They have really nice stuff nowadays too. Good stuff.
They've got a range of Pendleton.
I know. I was looking
at
Pendleton
yardage.
I want it.
That's dangerous. Why did you tell me that?
Because I'm a monster. Yeah. Well, they had it in 2019. They had it because I finally got to go tour the Pendleton mill. And then I came home and they had it.
Yeah, I know. I went there and I was like, "Oh, what can
last
I do
minute
with
Christmas present." Someone's got to get something out of Pendleton that I'll get
so
there
good.
for some reason. Ooh,
So go to Fabric Town.
Ooh, maybe another Pona jacket.
Oh my god. For yourself.
Nice.
For me, duh.
Okay, good. Karen's gonna get her own present.
Christmas present for me.
It better be.
I know.
I just wrap up the yardage and put it under the tree, and I'll make it in the new year.
Yes, that is a good call.
Maybe a birthday present to me.
Yeah. You deserve it. Absolutely.
So, anyways, those are my 3 local places.
My last one is Chivas Skincare, which is a family-run goat farm in Fillmore. I first learned about them 3 or 4 years ago because they had like an open house farm day where you could like go and meet the goats, and they showed us how they milked them, and we took the kids, and it was like a petting zoo, my nieces and nephews, and we learned all about goats, and I think it's like a daughter and her mother that run it, and they're very nice. When I met them, unfortunately I was just looking, they no longer do farm events like at their farm, but they do a lot of farmers markets and stuff.
No, I thought it said by appointment.
I just read on their thing that it
Oh
says,
my gosh, their branding is
'Cause I went to the-
adorable.
we no longer offer events at the Goat Farm in Fillmore.
Oh, gotcha.
Which is unfortunate, but you can buy everything online. And if you like, I think they do like the Ojai Farmers Market and stuff. Their branding is super cute. Like their whole aesthetic is really nice, and their products are really nice. I've bought soap from them before. It's very good quality stuff. It's adorable.
They have this soap that's wrapped in
In the
fruit-
what looks like fruit crates.
Yes. Oh
And
my
yeah,
god.
that's what I
each
bought.
each flavor, each scent is local to that kind of place.
Yep.
They've
I
got
love
something in
it.
Ojai.
It's very cute.
Ventura lavender mint, Ojai lavender oat, Fillmore citrus sage, Santa Paula lemon tea tree. Oh my god.
Yeah, right.
That's fabulous.
It's really nice stuff too. So if you need,
I
it's
wanna
like
call
such
them
good
so I can do
gifty
local
stuff.
pickup.
Ooh.
And I just missed. They had 30% off sale.
Dang.
It stopped yesterday or the 30th, I guess.
Nuts.
But
Enjoy
it's
their
really
newsletter.
nice, and it's good stuff. I think you can find it at other local businesses. I don't know off the top of my head, but it was fun when we got to go to the farm, which unfortunately they don't do anymore.
That
but
would be awesome.
it's very cute. They might do it in the future. I don't know, but they do
It
it
might
at
be
like
just for
farmers markets
COVID,
and
not-
things like that.
You know.
So I highly recommend them. They're very nice, and they have really good quality stuff. So if you need like a little gift for somebody, a cute little bar of soap and cute packaging or whatever. I
They
really
also
like
have.
them.
I saw they have lotions. They have lip balms.
Yeah, all
They
kinds
even
of good
have a
skincare
vegan
stuff.
one that does not have goat in it.
Yeah. So honorable mentions.
Mine that came up when I went to follow Roan Mills is Pirano's Market, which is again on Main Street. This one is directly across from the San Buenaventura Mission. It's an Italian marketplace with a restaurant,
I've
a
never
sit-down
been there.
restaurant attached. It's an old business that used to be in Ventura,
Mm-hmm.
and then like you could talk to some old school Ventura people who were like, oh yeah, I used to go to church at the Mission, then we go get our Sunday candy at Pirano's.
Oh, that's cute.
Delicious food, like really amazing food, and then they have all these like cool specialty Italian cooking things that you just can't easily find elsewhere. And we eat there every once in a while,
How do
and
you
they do
spell it?
like Peiranos.
She says so confidently.
Right? Well, because it's the E before I rule or I before E, and that always gets me unless I'm like being very purposeful about it. And they do events. So yeah, it's Peiranos Market. They are on Instagram. They have the restaurant and the marketplace have
I would like to get there.
Instagrams.
I like to cook, so that
well,
will be my
here's
place
what's
to get
really fun. Oh,
Italian
the
stuff.
restaurant is not. I don't think that's current because their last Instagram post was in 2015. So family-run business, 204 East Main Street, downtown Ventura. Yeah, this Instagram post was 10 hours ago, so this is the right one. Pirano's Market. So they do events and classes. Kevin and I missed out on their charcuterie class, but it was
that
you
sounds
do the
fun.
charcuterie class, and then it's $45 per person, and then dinner was included in that cost.
all the charcuterie you can eat.
Well, I assume. Then the next one like didn't work for timing or whatever. It was like a really cute hors d'oeuvre, but it was like timed so you could make that for your holiday dinners.
That's
And
kinda
then
cool.
the one they're doing in December, which I'm not seeing on their Instagram, but I think it's on their calendar on their website, is a salad wreath. So I don't fully understand what it is. Oh, here it is. I just found it.
You hang it up, or you put it on the table? Or...
I always
I
presume on the
think you put it
table.
on the table.
Yes.
So I think it's so you do like the presentation for your holiday table
Okay.
to look like a Christmas wreath. Edible Art with Shannon. It's on December 16th at 5:30. Oh, this one costs $55 each.
Well,
Reservations
wreath.
required.
Fascinating.
And it looks fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, and each of these events includes dinner in the cost.
Nice.
Oh my god, that looks so good. I wonder if I can con Kevin into it. He was willing to do the charcuterie because that felt like an investment, because that's our new like New Year's tradition. My mouth is watering. I'm sorry if I sound drooly while I'm talking here.
I think it's contagious.
But their food's really, really good, and they're
Nice.
really nice. So that's my honorable mention.
Cool.
Cool.
I don't have an honorable mention, so
This county
there's so
is
many things.
rife with small business.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we could probably talk all night and several more podcasts.
Mhm.
about
Yeah, we got to
this.
stop eventually. We are at almost 2 hours.
Oh
so
my gosh.
we should probably wrap things up. Anybody obsessed with anything exciting? I don't really have one this month.
I know
I
I'm
don't
like
this month.
so tired.
My mind was too focused
I know,
on
right? I feel
getting
bad.
stuff done.
Yeah.
Nothing has really changed, as far as like the things I follow, or like I haven't watched anything new.
No,
I've
I
just
actually
been
watched
watching
less,
more
less
CSI.
media. Oh, wait. Which CSI?
That's an old obsession. Right?
Yeah,
Which CSIs?
original Las
Ah.
Vegas.
I like the reboot.
I haven't watched it yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm obsessed with finding out how much iron is in food that I'm eating.
okay. Okay.
Because I was having a little scare with anemia, and now it's like, what can I get with more iron in it?
Yeah.
So, weren't you talking about liverwurst last time? Or maybe we were just
Yeah.
talking about it casually as conversation.
Don't remember this conversation.
Liverwurst
so
is a casual
I
conversation topic.
love liverwurst.
I've never eaten liverwurst.
It's good.
I don't think I would like it.
Yeah.
I like it, but
it's
I'm
better if you don't
told-
think about what's in it.
Liver.
No, I'm told that if you get it at
It's
a
like a pate.
deli,
Ugh.
it's amazing. At
I
a
bet
deli.
it is.
Yeah.
Danny's Deli.
Mm.
I've gotten it at Danny's Deli. They have
There's
a
another
liverwurst.
small local business.
Yeah, they
We
have
love Danny's.
Yes, they have a liverwurst plate. It's so good. Okay, so anyways, that's like
Has a lot of iron in it.
45%.
liver.
Yeah.
45% of your daily
Yeah.
need
I don't
for
know why you're
iron.
surprised by this.
I'm not, but it's like when you like, because it's not really good for you. It's got a
No.
lot of sodium and fat in it,
Cholesterol.
but
But it makes up for it.
I really enjoy the way it tastes, and so it's like a treat that I can be like, I am doing a good thing for myself right now.
Sure.
Even though I'm taking these pills that have 500% of my iron needs.
Just a little bit extra, though.
Well, other amazing things that have a lot of iron. Ramen. Top ramen.
Oh.
Has an extremely
ramen.
high percentage of your
That's
daily need
fascinating.
too. I love sharing that one because it also gives virtue to a
eating
trash
top
food.
ramen. The other night we came home from our Thanksgiving trip, and it was just James and I at home, and it was like, what do you want to do for dinner? And James was like, I have some leftover soup in the fridge. And I was like, cool, I'll make like top ramen or something. I'm totally fine with that.
Mm.
And
I
then
actually like Marchand, just to say.
I don't really have a big preference, but then it was like 5 o'clock or something. James was like, are you hungry? And I was like, yeah, kind of. Let's have early dinner. So we go downstairs. And then this man starts making chicken parmesan from scratch instead. He's like, I figured out we had everything in the pantry. And I was like, okay. I was fine with top ramen, but I will also eat this. So I had the leftovers for lunch today.
Nice.
Okay, here's another way to
Wow.
get some iron. I was cooking rice last night.
Mm-hmm.
I decided I wanted greens, so I threw the greens in with the rice and let them cook together.
Oh, that sounds yummy. What kind of greens?
I did some kale, but I cut it really small, but I mixed it with chard. So you get a little of the soft.
all those. Yeah.
But the nice thing is then you get the flavor of the greens, but you also get the chew of the rice. Why not let them cook together?
Yeah, that sounds good.
They were delicious.
Okay, then.
That's all. My closest thing to an obsession right now.
Oh, wait. I have an obsession, a quick obsession.
Okay.
Sunshine seasoning. It's
is
by
that?
Tabitha Brown. McCormick, you can only get it on McCormick's website. The first time
Oh.
they introduced it in May, it sold out in an hour.
What is it?
It is this salt-free seasoning. It has is very Caribbean inspired. She went to the McCormick. Tabitha Brown went to the McCormick test kitchen and developed the seasoning. It's similar to like a curry, but it has banana powder and pineapple powder and mango powder. And
How is
it
the
is,
pineapple powder processed, I wonder?
I don't know, and you don't really taste them, but altogether they're amazing.
And aren't
I'm
you
allergic to pineapple.
So what I ended up doing is,
But if
She has a
pineapple
recipe-
cooks, I can. So if the seasoning cooks, I guess I'm
so
safe.
she has a recipe because she's vegan. So she had this recipe called sunshine, like chicken sunshine. with shiitake mushrooms.
Oh, that
Now,
is
for the meat
yummy.
eaters, I put it on. I made that seasoning, that thing, and I put it on chicken wings. But honestly, it was on the shiitakes was way better.
Well,
it
I'm
was
checking
so
the
good.
iron content, and it says this product has no significant nutritional value.
Well, no, I'm just saying that's a
Joking.
seasoning to have with your greens.
I'm joking.
So, anyway, so sunshine seasoning when you can get it.
Okay.
I ordered 2 jars and I got there are 2 bottles, and I was able to use it for the first time last night, and it is amazing. It's so good. I want on everything.
SCHICK''N.
Yeah, chicken. It's chicken. Chicken.
That's funny.
Well, that does sound delicious, though. It sounds wonderful.
All right. Well, I think that's it for us tonight. We got a nice long episode for you, so enjoy it throughout your holiday season. We hope that you are enjoying, whatever holiday you celebrate. Make sure you check out our website and, check out our boutique
Shop.
if you need some last-minute gifts. We also have a couple classes coming up this month. Check your emails. There will be a newsletter. Well, this email or this podcast will be out in a newsletter. And book club and all that other good stuff. And then in the new year, we'll have a whole new set of classes coming out in January.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else we need to plug, or is that all the things?
Just reminding, the name of our book for the book club is The Maidens by Alex Michaelides.
Good to know.
Michaelides?
I haven't started it yet.
I started. I'm enjoying
I
it.
finished it the first week.
Yeah.
You always do. I always
Yeah.
wait because I want to be fresh, and then I
Yeah.
wait too long, and then I've got a week and a half to do it.
Well, I
where I'm
figure
at right now.
I figure I can go back and re-listen to it.
Yeah.
I
might switch to the audiobook, but I started it and I was like pretty gung ho and got in pretty quick.
Yeah.
But then it got.
I downloaded the
time.
audio
Crunch.
or the digital version when I was traveling, because I was like, oh, I'll read on a plane, and I read like 2 pages and then I stopped.
travel.
So I need to start over.
It's good though. So
It is
far.
really
good to
good.
know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll
Okay.
see you next month. All
right.
right, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Strings Unraveled is a production of Strings and Things Studio with Anne Lekravin Cazzoli, Kaity Von Rader Fraker, and Karin Wilmoth. Recorded and edited by Kaity Von Rader Fraker. Find us online at stringsandthingsstudio.com or on Facebook or Instagram at Strings and Things Studio. You can email us at stringsandthingsinfo@gmail.com.